ఆ భగవద్గీత సారము వేదమయము అనేటువంటి అంశాన్ని మనకు ఆచార్య పంచముఖి గారు ఇప్పుడు మధురమైనటువంటి వారి వాక్కుల ద్వారా విశ్లేషిస్తారు.
శ్రీ గురుభ్యో నమః. మాయావీ పరమానందం త్యక్త్వా వైకుంఠముత్తమం స్వామీ పుష్కరిణీ తీరే రమయా సహ మోదతే కళ్యాణాద్భుతగాత్రాయ కామితార్థప్రదాయినే శ్రీమద్వెంకటనాథాయ శ్రీనివాసాయ తే నమః. పూజ్యాయ రాఘవేంద్రాయ సత్యధర్మరతాయ చ భజతాం కల్పవృక్షాయ నమతాం కామధేనవే ఆపాదమౌలిపర్యంతం గురూణామాకృతిం స్మరేత్ తేన విఘ్నాః ప్రణశ్యంతి సిద్ధ్యంతి చ మనోరథాః. సర్వేభ్యో మహాజనేభ్యో నమః. Today is one of the very auspicious days during Brahmotsavam. Today is Garudotsavam. Lord Srinivasa, Narayana, Krishna, all in one would be moving throughout the world on Garuda. You know, Garuda symbolizes, as per the Puranic texts, an entity who removes the vishas, the poisons. And Venkateshwara is the one through his Mohini Rupa who distributes Amritam. So in the modern world, we have a lot of poison and we are in search for Amrita. Not only of Jnanamrita, Jnanamrita Bhagavaddarshana Sukha, Antas Sukha. That Lord Srinivasa would be distributing through his Garuda Vahanotsava. The Utsavas are meant for making the common people see Paramatma, Lord Srinivasa, going out. He is in the form of actual person in the inside Garbhagraha, but during Utsavans he moves around and blesses the public at large, the mankind at large, as a result of his very compassionate attitude towards humanity. See, Utsava, as the etymology says, utkarshena sava suyate. That must be some emotional outbursts of bhakti, excitement, values, normal behavior in the people when these utsavas are witnessed and also participated in by the public at large. So utsavas are not meant for social events, but they are meant for inciting the spiritual strength of man from within. I, at the outset, would like to compliment, congratulate the TTD, Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam's Trust Board, and in particular, Sri M.G. Gopal Garu, the very competent, very visionary executive officer of the TTD, and the Sri Venkateshwara Vedic University, which has been established by TTD, its Vice Chancellor K. Devanathan, its Registrar Vijay Kumar, and in particular, I would like to congratulate and compliment our Vibhishana Sarma Garu, who spearheads these activities with lot of devotion, commitment and passion. So I feel myself blessed that I have got this opportunity of delivering this lecture. The theme of the lecture, as was stated earlier, is Vedas and Bhagavadgita and their relevance for the modern world. You know, we often think that Vedas are scriptures of the ancient people. There are many in our midst, particularly with the influence of the Western world, who thinks that the Vedic period, Vedic generation were barbaric. They did not have any knowledge. It is much against the truth. Vedas are the reservoir of profound knowledge, which is not even available even in the modern literature or modern scientists or modern people. Vedas, as we make research on the Vedic knowledge system, we find that there is a lot of profound knowledge about the modern physical sciences, material sciences, social sciences, and also, of course, the spiritual wisdom of life. So it is a reservoir of materialism and spiritualism. And only way to understand Vedas is to understand and study and analyze its meanings and show its relevance to the modern world. Again, there is another misconception in the public at large, is that Vedic mantras are meant to be recited in the rituals, whether it is marriage ceremony or birth ceremony or Vivaha, Shraddha, Upanayana. It's meant only for this. No. We have reduced it to that ritualistic framework since we have not understood the meanings of Vedas. The word Veda is very interestingly conveying what is contained in it. Vidajnane. The Vedas are reservoir of knowledge. They are the same, they are also called as Shruti because they have come to us from generation to generation through the medium of hearing, Sravana. So can you imagine the entire texts of thousands of riks? Vedavai, Anantavai Vedaha. Earlier they were infinite, they cannot be counted. But later on, Lord Vedavyasa, when he Narayana took the avatara as Vedavyasa, he divided Vedas essentially into 4 categories: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, Sama Veda. And then later on, Brahmanas, Upanishads were also there, Vedangas are there, Siksha, Kalpa, Nirukta, Vyakarana, Chandasu, Jyotisha. They are all meant. And then there are a number of Smritis, Puranas. Vedavyasa wrote a large number of Puranas. And it is stated by the Acharyas, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya and Madhvacharya, that these Itihasas and Puranas are some sort of guides to understand the meanings of Vedas. Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedam Samupabrinhayet. So this entire literature, Vedic literature, then Puranas, Upanishads, Smritis, Vedangas are all one set of huge mass of literature. Even one life is not enough to study them fully and understand their significance. So it's a pity that even in the land which gave this rich reservoir of knowledge to the world, we have very little learning of Vedas today. It's fortunate that institutions like TTD are giving attention to it, and starting of this Sri Venkateshwara Vedic University has been a very innovative initiative to resurrect the wisdom of Vedas for the modern world and to showcase to the world that our heritage is very rich. We can be proud of our heritage. So the Vidajnane and Shruti, it has come through Sravana. It has come thousands of these Sanhitas, the text. Sanhita means text. All these riks have come to us by the Sravana, Guru to Sishya, Sishya to Sishya, and so on. Even today in some parts of India, there are students, Sishyas and Gurus who recite all the Vedic riks, all the Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda by heart. So our mental energy is so large that we can really comprehend all the riks and reproduce them. So that is how that has come to us. The same text is called as Amnaya. Amnaya means Amnayo Ananyatha Pathat. It has remained the same text throughout. And as per the traditional belief, Vedas are Apaurushaya. They are not written by anybody, but they are revealed to the rishis as a result of their tapasya by the wish of Paramatma. So Vedas are Apaurushaya. This entire huge mass of knowledge, which is not written by anybody. There is a big debate on why we should accept Vedas as Apaurushaya. I will not go into that. Apaurushaya means not written. It has been revealed to the mankind. Because it is revealed from the God, from unknown, and it has remained eternally the same. It has no sort of changes or extrapolations or some sort of blemishes in it. It is a very blemishless reservoir of literature of knowledge. So now Vedas are very vast. We cannot study Vedas, and there are people who can study Vedas, not only recite them, but also know their meanings. But to facilitate the understanding of Vedas, the Upanishads came. I'm just giving as a backdrop a few steps of how the knowledge has disseminated to us. Upanishads, and then the Puranas. As part of the Mahabharata Purana, we have got Bhagavadgita, the message of Lord Krishna to Arjuna. See, for Mahabharata, Vedavyasa wrote a number of Puranas. Mahabharata is one of the greatest and the biggest and the largest Purana. See, Mahatvat, Bharavatvat, Mahabharata Mituchate.
Shastreshu Shastreshu Bharatam Saram Tatra Saram Sahasrakam Vaishnavam Vishnu Gita Cha Tadnyanam Uchyate Anjasa. So in entire Shastras, Mahabharata contains the essence of the Shastras. The number of Acharyas have written Tatparya Nirnayas. Madhvacharya has written Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya to show the spiritual tattvic messages that are contained in a number of so-called stories of Mahabharata. It is the Westerners who depicted Mahabharata as a fight between two brethren for the sake of the kingdom. It is not as simple as that. It is a fight between the good forces and evil forces, dharma and adharma, morality and immorality. The kind of hidden and explicit warfare that takes place in the modern world today. We find the good forces are sometimes defeated by the bad forces. So Lord Krishna does not want this. Sometime or the other, good forces have to become victorious. That is why he assured the mankind that whenever the adharma becomes predominant, he will take an incarnation and destroy the adharma and establish dharma. So the message of Bhagavad-Gita stated in one of the slokas is Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So why I am giving this background is we are now afflicted by the rise of adharma in our midst. Not only in India, but in Bharatadesha, but in the entire mankind, adharma is ruling very predominantly to destroy the forces of dharma. We do hope that at this time, Lord again reincarnates and destroys the adharma. But Lord Krishna has been very clever. He has given to us the literature. Bhagavad-Gita is one of the such parts of literature by study of which we can reincarnate Paramatma in the form of knowledge. Now coming to Bhagavad-Gita, normally the modern thinking or the Western thinking of Bhagavad-Gita is, I have heard it many times, people saying that look at this Krishna, he has induced Arjuna to kill his own brethren, so it encourages violence. You also have seen some such controversies that have risen in some parts of the world, by those who have not understood the essential message of Bhagavad-Gita. So Bhagavad-Gita has, being the quintessence of the Upanishads, there is a very interesting sloka in Gita Mahatmya. Sarvopanishado gavaha dugdha gopalanandanaha partho vatsaha sudhir bhokta dugdham gita amritam param. If all the Upanishads themselves are the quintessence of the Vedas, and if Upanishads were considered as the cows, and Krishna, Lord Krishna, is considered as the cowherd who will milk the cow, and if Partha is considered as a calf, and all good-minded people are the people who become eligible to get this dugdha. And Bhagavad-Gita is in the form of Jnana Dugdha, Jnanamrita, which comes out of Lord Krishna milking the cows of Upanishads and giving it first to Arjuna. As we know in the world, we have to first give a little bit of milk to the calf, and then when the calf makes that place a little loose, we get the milk. So the same process is there in the Bhagavad Gita. He has preached it to Arjuna, and through Arjuna has given it to the entire world. Now let us see briefly in this very short period, what are the messages of Bhagavad Gita that are relevant to the modern world. I don't need to spend any time in telling as to how the modern world, the mankind, the society is afflicted with miseries, with conflicts, with controversies, with lack of peace, lack of true happiness. Many people may think that I am earning so many thousands of rupees or lakhs of rupees or dollars per month, and I have got a big mansion, I have 5 cars, I have got everything materially which should keep me happy. But he may not have good health, he may not have good peace of mind, there may be conflict in the family. So true happiness does not come from the materialistic progress. That is the first underlying principle of our Vedas. Vedas tell you that man is a combination of materialism and spiritualism. But the modern world of the Western vintage has done the greatest damage to the mankind by telling that you produce more and more, get more and more material progress, you will be happy. You will see that materialism, excessive materialism will not bring happiness, but it will bring more tension, more conflicts and more contradictions in life. That is why our Vedic literature, the Vedic view of life, Vedas, as I told in the beginning, should not be viewed as mere mantras of rituals. In fact, Madhvacharya says, Adukkham itaras sarvam jiva evatu dukkhinaha tesham dukkha prahanaya srutiresha pravartate. Vedas are not meant just for removing the miseries of, are not meant only for the ucharana, for the mantras, but they are meant for removing the miseries of not only of this life, but also of the eternal life. So they are the moksha shastras. They take you to the eternal bliss if you follow the principles and philosophy of life preached in the Vedas. That is why the Vedic approach to life, Vedic philosophy of life, Vedic tips for life are very important. So the first message, as I said, Vedas view man as a holistic man, a combination of materialism and spiritualism. If we pursue only the materialistic way of life, you will not be happy. And this message is given right in the beginning in the Bhagavadgita. Dharma kshetre, kurukshetre, samaveta yuyutsavaha, mamaka pandavaschaiva, kim akurvata sanjaya. The apparent meaning of this is very obvious. Dhritarashtra, the born blind man, asks Sanjaya, who was endowed with divine eye through the grace of Vedavyasa, as to what is happening in the war front, and he is very keen to know whether his sons would be victorious. He had at the depth of his mind a fear that his sons, being adharmis, would not be victorious, but still he was very curious to know what is happening in the battlefield. So he says, Kurukshetre Dharmakshetre, that is the Kurukshetra. The present Kurukshetra is in somewhere in Haryana, near Delhi, as you know. We all go there and see where Bhagavad Gita was preached. But the real Kurukshetra that is mentioned here is the Kurukshetra of the mind. So our mind is a place where there are good thoughts and there are also bad thoughts. Mamakaha, they represent the bad thoughts because they represent the ahankara, Kauravas. Pandavaha, they represent the good thoughts and they are also there. So when the good thoughts and the bad thoughts assemble in the mind and make the mind as the battlefield, as the Kurukshetra, how the battlefield would be resolved and should be resolved. That is the message which Bhagavad Gita gives. So we have to ask, like blind Dhritarashtra, we have to ask Sanjaya. The Sanjaya symbolizes our Sakshi, inner conscience. So we must ask our inner conscience as to what is the right path and how I should resolve this conflict in such a way that the evil forces do not dominate and take me to the wrong direction. So in this way of interpreting the very first sloka of Bhagavad Gita, you would realize that Bhagavad Gita is not a treatise of preaching by Lord Krishna to Arjuna to fight, but it is a preaching of universal significance in which the warfare between the good and the bad is depicted in the most scientific, logical framework of analysis. So Sanjaya, now in the very first adhyaya, we have two models of decision making. Bhagavad Gita can be treated as a treatise on management, as a treatise on psychology, treatise on human relations. If we look at it in these different dimensions, you will realize how profound messages are contained in Bhagavad Gita. That is why Bhagavad Gita has become the most popular text of the Indian heritage throughout the world, in all parts of, not only in India, but the world. So people have understood its significance, whether it is a politician or whether it is a philosopher or whether it is a technical man or whether it is a social scientist. They have all seen messages in Bhagavad Gita as a psychologist. So then we have two models of decision making. One is Arjuna symbolizes one model and Duryodhana symbolizes another model. So Arjuna does the analysis of the conflicting situation And Duryodhana does not do much analysis. He comes to conclusions. And by coming to this conclusion, he would be giving wrong decisions. Whereas Arjuna takes very bold step in analyzing the situation and goes to Krishna because he finds something wrong. So the message of Bhagavad Gita can be described in one line. It preaches us as to each one should do the fundamental performance of duty, or fundamental duties in the most universal framework that is called as Nivritta Karma Anusthana. You must do your prescribed duties. In those days, Varnashrama Vihita Karma, but in the modern times, many occasions, you should do it without phalapeksha, without having any personal agenda in it. The problems of today in corruption, so many irregularities come because people are not committed to the performance of duties. And third is do it as a Bhagavad Aradhana Buddhi, that means as a service to the mankind, as a service to the nation. And fourth is without having Swatantra Kartritva Abhimana. So Nivritta Karma Anusthana is the basic message of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita preaches that one must stick to the performance of duties. Swadharme nidhanam sreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. It's a very important message in the modern world where people are deviating from their dharmas, their duties. Swadharme nidhanam sreyaha paradharmo bhayavaha. You should not go to the other dharma for thinking that it is better. And there is a distinction between rights and duties. Today we are much obsessed with rights, but Bhagavad Gita preaches that in performance of duties only you can get real happiness. In fact, once I asked the chairman of the National Human Rights Commission that you must first convert your name as National Human Duties Commission, because unless somebody performs his duties, rights of others will not be fulfilled. So there is a time for having very fundamental changes in our approach to life, rights versus duties, and the way in which the duties are performed. The final sloka of Bhagavad Gita gives a very profound philosophy of work culture. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, Tatra Srir Vijayo Bhutihi, Dhruvani Tirmatirmama. That means we should not just remain dependent on fate. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. Krishna symbolizes the yoga. Yoga means upaya. It's a sort of a modality of morality. And Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha, where the Dhanurdhari Partha is there, symbolizing hard work, perseverance, commitment, consistency. When all these are there, both spiritual approach to life and practical hard work approach, then only you will get Tatra Srihi Vijayaha Bhutihi Dhruva Nitihi. There will also be the rule of morality. Sanjaya says Nitihi Matirmama. So this is how Bhagavad Gita gives very profound principles of life, which adopted in the modern world, in India and everywhere in the mankind, we will be able to move towards a conflict-free, really happy and really, a harmonious society in the world. So all this talk about material incentives are not enough. We must bring in this holistic approach to life which Bhagavad Gita preaches. And I would once again compliment the TTD, the Vedic University, for initiating this program. And I am sure you would realize that preaching of Bhagavad Gita would require a series of discussion meetings and lectures, and I am sure the Vedic University and Dharma Prachara Parishad will continue such exercises for bringing in a new revolution in the material and spiritual aspects of Indian life and human life. Thank you once again. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.
వేదసారమైనటువంటి భగవద్గీతలో ఉండేటువంటి ఆధునిక సమాజానికి సంబంధించినటువంటి సందేశాలను చాలా సారవంతంగా మనకు పంచముఖి గారి నాడు మనోహరంగా వివరించారు. వారిని ఈ వేదిక పైన విరాజిల్లుతున్నటువంటి విద్వాంసులు, వేద విశ్వవిద్యాలయంకి రిజిస్ట్రార్గా పనిచేస్తున్నటువంటి విజయ్ కుమార్ గారు శ్రీవారి ప్రసాదంతో సత్కారం చేస్తారు. శ్రీ వెంకటేశ్వర వైదిక విశ్వవిద్యాలయం నిర్వహిస్తూ ఉండేటువంటి ఈ వేద విజ్ఞాన సదస్సులకు ప్రత్యక్ష పర్యవేక్షణ అందిస్తూ ఉన్నారు వైస్ ఛాన్సలర్ శ్రీ కేఈ దేవనాథన్ గారు. అదేవిధంగా ఈ వైభవోపేతమైనటువంటి వేద విజ్ఞాన సదస్సులు ఇక్కడ జరగటానికి మూల కారణం తిరుమల తిరుపతి దేవస్థానం శ్రీకార్య నిర్వహణాధికారులు గారు. వేదం అంటే వారికి ఊపిరి. ఆర్ష హృదయ సంపన్నులు ఎంజి గోపాల్ గారు వచ్చిన తర్వాత వేద విద్యా వ్యాప్తికి వారు ఎన్నో విధములైనటువంటి చర్యలు తీసుకుంటూ ఉన్నారు. సంయుక్త కార్యనిర్వహణాధికారులు శ్రీ భాస్కర్ గారు, అదేవిధంగా తిరుమల సంయుక్త కార్యనిర్వహణాధికారులు శ్రీనివాసరాజు గారు, వీరందరి యొక్క సహకారంతో వేద విజ్ఞాన సదస్సులు ప్రతిరోజు కూడా ప్రభాత కాలంలో అత్యంత వైభవంగా ఇంతమంది వేద విద్వాంసులు భక్తజనుల సమక్షంలో జరుగుతూ ఉన్నాయి. భక్తి ఛానల్ ప్రత్యక్ష ప్రసారాల ద్వారా ఎంతోమంది వీక్షిస్తూ ఉన్నారు. వీటి ద్వారా వేద విజ్ఞానం జనసామాన్యం బాగా హృదయంలో పదిలిపరుచుకుంటారని చెప్పి ఆకాంక్షిస్తూ ఉన్నాం. శ్రగ్భూషాంబరహేతీనాం సుషమావహమూర్తయే సర్వార్తి శమనాయాస్తు వెంకటేశాయ మంగళం. స్వస్తి ప్రజాభ్యః పరిపాలయంతాం న్యాయేన మార్గేణ మహీం మహీషాః. గోబ్రాహ్మణేభ్యः శుభమస్తు నిత్యం. లోకాः సమస్తాः సుఖినో భవంతు. కాలే వర్షతు పర్జన్యః పృథివీ సస్యశాలిని. దేశోऽयं క్షోభరహితో బ్రాహ్మణాः సంతు నిర్భయాः. అపుత్రాः పుత్రిణः సంతు పుత్రిణः సంతు పౌత్రిణः. అధనాः సధనాः సంతు జీవంతు శరదాం శతం.